Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live session. So, guys, before I let you guys listen to what Kenneth Okonkwo said during this one-on-one session, let's look at some of the headlines that have been trending, since yesterday through today, because a lot is happening in this country right now. So, you can see over 100 terrorists in bikes invade Garam community near FCT, kidnap residents. So you can see that, for some time now, we've just been having these headlines on kidnapping, 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 as if these bandits were just let loose, at a go. I mean, the thing is too much. It's just too much all over the places. And don't forget, this same set of people that attacked, those communities in Plateau State still went back again. I think that was yesterday also. They went back again to those community, but thanks to God, the community villagers, they were ready for them, so they had to like resist them, vehemently, and that was how we didn't get to hear of casualties and all that. But I tell you, these people, they are let loose. And it might shock you to know that some of these people are not even Nigerians. I mean, these people, most of them are coming from neighboring countries. The Fulanis, they believe they don't belong to a particular country. They can just get into any country and become citizens and invade and take over and all that. And that is just exactly what we are seeing. And then look at this headline again. It says bandit attacked a Nigerian immigration station in Kebbi, killed two officers. That is what we are saying. It's not just about religion. This time they attack both the Muslims and the non-Muslim. And that is why Peter Obi was saying that the Muslims don't buy bread cheaper. Their own security is not different from the general kind of security every Nigerian gets from the system. So when we want to vote, let's vote for competent people. So you can see everybody is suffering the heat of this poor governance that we are experiencing at the moment. I mean, it's just affecting everybody. This is another headline that says Tinubu seeks another $1.5 billion loans from World Bank to boost budget. So, guys, honestly, these are some of the headlines that make Nigerians, I mean, patriotic Nigerians sick. You can imagine that this government just wants to borrow, borrow, borrow without we knowing what they are using the money for. Honestly. So all the ones Buhari borrowed, Nigerians are still saying there is nothing to show for all the loans that the former administration borrowed. And then this administration has continued again in the same direction because nobody is sitting down to think. Nobody is coming up with creative ideas on how to, get Nigerians back to work, to have a productive economy, because that's the only solution, for us to start getting enough revenue. Nigerians have to be busy, and then we'll be able to feed ourselves, take care of ourselves, and be able to export. And all these are steps that will stabilize the naira. But we have these old men in leadership position that can't really think. As in, some of them are. We all know some of them are not even that strong. Not to talk of having this cognitive strength to be able to think out of the box, to know different strategies that Nigerians can use, to come out of the economic state we are currently. So all they know is just let's borrow, let's borrow. So there is this recent headline that the federal government is moving this body that has to do with the airports, FAAN. That's the federal. I've forgotten the full meaning of that abbreviation. So this body is being moved now to. Okay, this is not even the headline I'm talking about, but I'll come to that. This is airport officials arrested over attempt to smuggle, you see, drug on board flight. So this is also a caution for every Nigerian. If you are traveling, please do take care of yourself and your luggages and everything around you. Just be sure that, you don't have strange people around you or trying to put one or two things in your bag, because you'll be the one to bear the consequence. So you can see that some of the officials at the airports, they are not even genuine people, they are there for their belly, not to talk of now that the economy is very hard. So anybody is ready to do anything to get, his own daily bread. We are not supporting evil, but I want to tell you that that is where the kind of leadership we have today in Nigeria has left many Nigerians. Many people are desperate to get what they will take home, and that has led people into criminality. So This is coming from Kwara State. You can see Kwara State short job portal as 8,000 apply in 48 hours. So they opened this portal. Kudos to the government. Yes, that they remember that many youths are idle. So they opened a portal to, like, bring in some people to get some job opportunities. But they never knew that many people were already waiting for such a portal to be opened. So immediately they opened. Before you know it, 2 days they already had 8,000 people who have applied. Possibly it was just few positions that they had free, but you can see 8,000 people were applied. So the government, I mean, the state government quickly had to shut down that portal, because if they should leave it for like 1 week or 2 weeks, possibly they'll be getting close to 100K applicants, and they will not even know what to tell them or why they are being rejected. So the smartest thing they could do is to shut down this portal. But this sends a very strong signal. Nigerians, you can see that many people are idle. No doubt we are seeing all this criminality all over the places. People are really idle. And that is just it. So IGP wakes up, unleashes special intervention squad to combat Abuja kidnapping. Yes, in case you've been following the trend for some time now, it's been Abuja, Abuja, Abuja. I mean, the level of abduction in Abuja is mind-blowing. I mean, you'll be shocked. I never thought that Abuja could be that porous. I mean, these guys could just come in into some communities and do whatever and still go their way. And in the bushes, they will still, from there, they will still be removing people to bring ransom and all that. And still, nobody knows where they are. Nobody knows how to arrest them. And that has continued. This is coming from, okay, early this morning, while the world's attention was on bomb explosion in Ibadan and Fulani terrorists. Okay, the Fulani terrorists went for an attack on Butura, a village in Bokos. This is one of the places there in Plateau State, the place they initially attacked during this Christmas. You see, they still went back again there. These people, they are not tired of, as if blood is nothing to them. I mean, human life, taking it away means nothing to them. I don't know the kind of gene they have in them that such thing doesn't even touch them. So this is Tinubu that went to Imo State. There's a Tinubu violates own directive on proning travel delegation. He told us that he was going to reduce the number of people that will be involved in any of the trips he embarks on. But you can see he went to Imo State, and I heard he took alongside with him a whole lot of people. I mean, a whole lot. I don't know why. I don't know, honestly. And you see them trying to borrow. They want to still go and borrow in billions of dollars. Oh my God. Nigerians, we've missed it in terms of leadership, honestly. Terrorists took away, adopted, okay. I don't want to be using that term there, because of the YouTube policy. This is a terrorist. They took away the life of this female student of Bayero University. Claimed parents failed to bring ransom. So you can see what we are saying. This is a promising future, but you can see how her life was cut short because the parents didn't have or couldn't provide the money that were being requested by these terrorists on time. And that's why they took away her life. This is also a Muslim being killed by a Muslim. So guys, I don't know. I don't know when we are going to get things rightly done in this country. When are we going to decimate these terrorists? When are we going to take them out of the way? You can imagine the way. Look at the man that was kidnapped alongside with whether his 5 or 6 daughters. At the time they killed one of his daughters, they first of all let the man go look for ransom, and they held back his daughters. And at the time, they had to destroy the lives of one of the daughters and went and dumped that lady somewhere, called the father and told the father, if you are not bringing the ransom, go and check your son, one of your daughter's body somewhere. And they went there only for them to really see that the bodies that were kept there, the daughter was one of them. I mean, she was not the only one that they took her life away. But that was just like a threat to the father that if you are not bringing that money quickly, they even told the man that if he's wasting more time, that he should expect more bodies from the remaining ones in their hands. So this is to tell you the kind of country we are building. Honestly, we don't even, and what even baffles me is it's as if we don't have a government on ground. This is happening in Abuja. The almighty Wike, who says he fears no man, who says nobody can challenge him, nobody can bring him down. This is the FCT he manages, and look at what is happening. So, guys, that is the Nigeria we have for you. And don't forget that people try to raise money for that family on the social media. So, when these bandits realized that Nigerians were raising money, do you know what they did? They increased the amount of money. Initially, they requested for 60 million naira. From 60 million, they went to 100 million naira. From 100 million naira, when they now saw that the internet was about to raise money for them, they said it's 100 million naira. So, and up till now, the other ladies are not yet released. I just hope that Wike and the security agents in the FCT do the needful to rescue their lives. You can imagine all the children of that man were taken into captivity. So you can imagine the pain the man undergoes. Though they've released him to go look for funds, but wherever he is, he's finding it difficult because he can't really live without seeing his daughters, not to talk of one of them already being, sent to eternity. So this is it. Policemen storm Abia TV station, arrest guest on live program. So you can see where the police is active when it comes to the normal citizens. Right thinking Nigerians are the ones that usually get the attack from these policemen. But look at what the bandits are doing. I wish they would be swift in getting to where these bandits are. And this is the same headline. Tinubu jets with over 558 to Imo. That's just the one I made mention. He went to Imo State during the swearing in of Governor Hope Uzodinma. And this is it. This is the body. Okay, this is the body that has to do with the NIMC, that has to do with the NIM something something. Let me see if I can see the full abbreviation. I think it's the National Identification something. This is a commission that has to do with the NIN, and they are saying that they are going to collaborate to ensure that they track down these bad guys. But my question is, why are they saying this now? You can see the date, the January 18th. Why are they saying this now? We've seen these people during the Plateau massacre. That was since Christmas. And then it's now they are telling us that they are going to collaborate to start tracking down kidnappers, meaning that these kidnappers were never tracked all this while. That is the Nigeria system for you. We are always on the defensive, side instead of being on the offensive, instead of trying to go get these people wherever they are, not waiting for until an attack takes place. Breaking: Tinubu's government relocates Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria headquarters to Lagos. I don't know if this has a political undertone or if they think that is the right thing to do. I don't know what is the reason behind, moving this airport Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria headquarters to Lagos. I don't really know, but that is a breaking news. So I'm believing that under Tinubu, most of the bodies, most of the offices or government parastatals and all that, most of these big offices will be moved to Lagos. That's my own, what I think, because we equally heard that the CBN is a section of the CBN will be moved to Lagos. So that might be a gradual move. Possibly with time, they will get to move, because everything now is centered in Abuja. And then Abuja is not really that viable in terms of economic activities. So possibly he might want to move back some of these offices to Lagos, because that was where they were initially before they were taken to Abuja. So that is it. So, there's this group that came out to criticize this government, that they voted for the Muslim ticket, and now they are suffering. So Tinubu has gone to meet them. Tinubu meets Supreme Council for Sharia after criticism. So he has now gone to meet them. Possibly he's trying to protect his plans to run for 2027, because he knows that he needs the Muslim community in any election. Possibly that's why he's taking this move. Anyway, let's get back to what we've got for today. It has to do with Kenneth Okonkwo. Honestly, Kenneth Okonkwo had a one-on-one chat with an anchor from the channel's television, and I think that was really an interesting period. Just like we all know that any interview he grants, is packed with wisdom, words of wisdom, and he speaks so well, as in he articulates very well in terms of the way he makes his presentation. So he had that one-on-one chat, and I tell you, you must get to listen to it. It also has to do with the future of Nigeria in terms of the next election, because we all know that this government is already planning ahead of 2027. They are being strategic, trying to take over some states and all that, positioning their people. But thank God for the resistance that the Nigerian people are presenting, because the latest Supreme Court's ruling saved Nigeria, saved Nigeria a lot, because, everywhere would have been on fire should the Supreme Court had gone the other way around, like in Kano and also in Plateau State and other places like that. Don't forget that of Nasarawa State will be coming up this Friday. The Supreme Court is still going to be, finalizing their judgment in order for other states. So we look forward to seeing what is going to be happening. But let me allow you listen to this Kenneth Okonkwo clip, and then we'll continue from there.
Ambition, knowing that there are certain things I'm not willing to cave into, is secondary now to my fight for a new Nigeria.
So guys, Kenneth Okonkwo had a one-on-one chat with an anchor from Channels Television, and like we all know, Kenneth is a very brilliant man. I mean, he is very brilliant in terms of, the way he speaks and the way he composes himself, and the level of ideas he brings to the table are mind-blowing. So I'm going to allow you just listen to this interactive session. He spoke across board, the APC, the Tinubu's administration, the appeal court, the Supreme Court, together with Atiku, who is still eyeing 2027. Nigerians, can you imagine? Atiku still want to run in 2027. It is time for Nigerians to speak up and say, Atiku, we are done with you. It appears Atiku is the only politician in Nigeria. So without Atiku on the ballot, there won't be any election in Nigeria. Anyway, Kenneth Okonkwo has got some brilliant points to offer. Let me just allow you listen to what Kenneth Okonkwo said during this chat.
Down to that, you've been talking quite a bit recently about a lot of things. But I'll get to your quotes on those things recently. Let's start off with one of the biggest stories out there, which is this coalition opposition party type thing. We're not quite sure how it's supposed to work out, but we did hear Mr. Patutomi, break it down for us, explain it in theory as to how this is supposed to work. But there are so many questions. Is it going to be a political party? What's it going to be called? Who's going to shelve whose ambition for the other? Your principal is a member of this coalition. When you found out about this, what were your thoughts? And what do you think about a coalition party? Many people have said, should Peter Obi shelve his ambition, as he was asked to do earlier in 2023? What are your thoughts on this situation?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is that whoever advises Peter Obi to shelve his political ambition is doing it at the person's political peril. You can imagine a human being that went into another political party almost 3 months before the election, and he won 12 states, including the Federal Capital Territory. No other candidate won more than 12 states. No other candidate scored up to 25% in FCT. He's the only candidate that got 25% in the whole geopolitical zone. You know what? Peter Obi is the opposition leader.
But he is a part of a coalition right now.
Coalition is not a party. It is a platform to negotiate, to know whether there will be a party. In law, we call it invitation to treat. It's not yet a qualified offer. So it is simply a platform for negotiation. And in politics, dialogue is the acceptable way of achieving compromise and solution. So coalition is simply a platform for negotiation. It is not yet a political party. So you cannot say whether anybody is a member of any coalition.
If it does become a political party?
That's a hypothetical question.
If it does?
Then
we have seen this happen before.
Oh, yes.
It started like this, absolutely. And then a party formed.
It is.
Even the ruling party started like this.
As a matter of fact, in a democracy, two parties will eventually be dominant. So it is not only advisable, it is desirable. So there's nothing wrong with that. But remember to ask me this question again when it eventually happens. Because now it's a hypothetical question. And I'm always very reluctant to answer hypothetical questions. In law, we call it an academic exercise. When it becomes a life issue, remember to ask me again.
So let's talk a bit about 2023. One of the questions people had about your principal was that he should have shelved his ambition. Put yourself down in the People's Democratic Party. Fly Atiku's flag. You may stand a chance. You may not become president, but you might become vice. And the idea really is to take power away from the ruling party. We stand a better chance as opposition if you shelve your ambition and just go under the People's Democratic Party. That conversation is coming up again as we prepare for 2027. You mentioned earlier that anyone who's advising him to do that is doing that at his own peril. So it's a bad idea, really, for Mr. P2B to do that. But isn't it? Just think about it, Mr. Okonkwo. If he's able to, doesn't the opposition stand a better chance of wresting power away from the ruling party if some personal ambitions are put aside for a moment?
Well, it would have been more brilliant if you had just opposed your decision and made it appropriate. You should have been saying, if Atiku Abubakar had shelved his political ambition, and this is exactly why I'm saying this, he has contested for 6 times. Will he continue contesting forever? 2, he's above 70 years. The remaining part of his life is by the act of grace. 3, it is the time of the South by their own constitution, section 7(3)(c). 4.
You mean the constitution of the PDP?
Yes, section 7(3)(c). Power rotation, power shift. The Northerner has had it for 8 years, and it was the time to shift to the South. And the ruling party has keyed into that. Yet, you are in the opposition. Atiku Abubakar recognized that it was the turn of the Southeast to produce the president. Why usurp it? You can't go to equity with dirty hands. So you should have said, if Atiku Abubakar had done the right thing and shelved his ambition, today, PDP with P2B would have been president. Let me tell you, before this time, the youths went to Wadata Plaza and they were screaming, give us Obi. He was out there in the PDP. And at a certain point, they thought money can buy everything. That is why PDP will never be a good opposition. Because you cannot outspend the ruling party. Because the ruling party has the power and resources. You know what Hayatuddin said about the Congress of PDP? When they had the convention to produce their primaries, he said he wasn't going to participate because it's obscenely monetized. You know what P2B said in his resignation letter? He said, this platform can no longer provide me a viable vehicle for me to achieve the new Nigeria that I am looking for. You know what I say? I say a party that is, that has made itself susceptible to stomach infrastructure can never be a good opposition party. Look at what is happening there. All of them are going to kiss the ring. They are going to shake hands. Why? Stomach infrastructure, nothing else.
Are you referring to Daniel Bwala when you say that?
You have said so. So what I'm saying is, right from
But you said that leader, you didn't mind. You yes. said that you...
So guys, sorry for that glitch. I'm trying to get that working again. I just wanted to share something with you on the social media platform. Let me see if I can do that quickly before I bring back that video, because Kenneth Okonkwo made reference to why Peter Obi shouldn't shelve his dream or his desire to handle Nigeria as the president. So when they say Nigerian, you split it. Yes.
Ambition, knowing that there are certain things I'm not willing.
So, guys, yes, I just wanted to share with you guys that clip because the question now is why didn't Peter Obi allowed Atiku to run instead of Atiku allowing Peter Obi? I don't even understand how people come to say this. Why should it be Peter Obi that will give way for Atiku? We saw how Nigerians embraced Peter Obi, as in we saw it. You know, Nigerians wanted Peter Obi. The video you watch, this is just organic love. You can imagine if it were to be the PDP that was to organize the youth. You know how much they would have spent. But, you know, people were willing to pay for Peter Obi. People were willing to, as in, to allow Peter Obi to become their president. Just Peter Obi, just be involved. We are going to take care of ourselves. The rallies we are doing, we are going to take care of it. We are going to spend the money involved. We are going to pay for our transport. Peter Obi never spent a dime. I mean, Nigerians were rather willing to spend for him. That is it. So when people say, why didn't Obi share his ambition? That is where Kenneth Okonkwo is coming from. You can't just say that Peter Obi should say Atiku or ya take over when they know that Nigerians wanted Obi, not Atiku. So the question remains: why is it that Atiku still wants to be on the ballot? I think he should be close to 80 years now. He will be going to 80. I think he will be turning 80 anytime this year, and he still wants to be the one to be our president. So the question remains: does it mean Nigeria does not have competent
To
people?
cave into
That's
secondary now to my fight for a new Nigeria.
So
Cycle election.
I don't
There
know.
is
Let me just
nothing
allow you
Mahmoud can do
listen.
about it. He's irredeemable. So I agree with you that if the man is there, it's a waste of time to go for any election except you have been selected.
Some people say it's the actors.
No.
They say it's the political actors that are the problem.
That is absolute nonsense.
You don't agree?
No, it's not that I don't agree. It's absolute nonsense. Why?
Who is bringing pre-filled results?
No, can
Who
you
is
hold on,
committing
hold
all
on,
the
hold on,
crimes?
hold
It's
on.
political actors.
Okay, good. Do you blame armed robbers for what is happening, or do you blame the security for not preventing armed robbery? Now, tell me the law. Just give me one law where they say it's the politicians that organize election, that undertake election. So you want politicians to go and do what is right. Every politician in America would rig election if the electoral body does not live up to its bidding. The job and the aim of the politician is to win. It is the umpire that must state the rules and compel everybody to keep the rules. In 2011 and 2015, we had the least number of cases in court because of what the electoral umpire did. it was still with these same politicians that those elections were conducted. In 2015, there was no presidential petition at all. In 2011, it was reduced to the barest minimum. Will the politicians do their work and do the work for Inec? Who is saying that? A politician will come and offer you anything that you want. Those people that are transferring the pre-filled result, are they doing it free of charge? They were compromised. There is no way with the laws we have now, you can ever rig our election without the complicity of INEC. Who gave them the electoral results that they are pre-filling? It is arrant nonsense to call the name of a politician, because the job of a politician is to win. The job of INEC is to conduct, undertake, and organize elections.
So apart from accusing them of complicity, what else are they doing wrong?
They are corrupt.
So it's complicity.
And incompetence. And corruption. You can help me with more words. But I want to tell you that from today, anybody that is accusing any politician of anything in election is absolutely ignorant. And when we give INEC such cover, we are simply making them merciless. You have division of... You just heard when I said, how can you be thanking the president for the job of the judiciary? So how can you be blaming the politicians for the job of INEC? No. INEC is solely responsible. They collected 400 billion naira to conduct 2023 election. How many politicians collected that amount to conduct election? And you're saying politician? Excuse me. Professor Mahmood is 100% responsible for everything that is happening in our election. And he should be held 100% responsible. If he cannot do it, let him step down. It is his duty. First of all, let me tell you what you do. You plan. By setting out your objectives as an INEC chief, you organize. By employing competent hands to man those areas, you direct. By providing leadership and supervision, you control. By measuring your objectives with the results you have achieved.
I mean,
determining the deviations.
You've made quite
determining the reasons for the deviations.
You've made quite a lot of
bringing out
claims
solutions
today
to make sure that the deviation don't happen again. This is management.
You've made quite a lot of claims today, basically putting our election umpire on blast, and you did mention some figures, you talked about, how much money,
Absolutely.
But the thing is, we also have to think about the conscience of a people. Isn't that something that because you said, should we blame politicians for what INEC is supposed to be doing?
Absolutely.
But politicians are Nigerians, aren't they?
Sure.
So shouldn't we be able to hold politicians to account? Politicians are not armed robbers. These are people that we put in elective office. Good. Don't they have the responsibility, Mr. Okonkwo?
Yes.
Don't they have the responsibility to be decent humans? You don't think that someone is labeled a politician, does that mean the person is an indecent person? Are you an indecent person? You are a politician as well, not so?
Good. Let me make it clear. Nigerians do not vote in armed robbers. INEC imposed armed robbers through technical glitch on Nigerians or pre-filled results. Nigerians, and they demonstrated it in 2023, where they voted according to their conscience. I was in that campaign, and I knew we didn't give people money. I knew everybody worked as volunteer. And yet, they technically glitched our election.
Well, I'm going to get to that in a bit. We do have to talk about that a little bit more. But I want to talk about your party in the run-up to 2027. Something happened recently in your party, of course, and you've been very vocal, very upset even about this situation. And it's the resignation of Mr. Okonkwo. And two words that have become popular since Mr. Okonkwo resigned from your party: special purpose vehicle and party ideology. Now, when it comes to the Labour Party, I'm going to get to the ideology of the Labour Party. What do you stand? Because what he said was, what I stand for, they don't stand for that. And based on that, I have resigned. You have been very upset about that, and the phrase special purpose vehicle being used for the Labour Party. Why does it rub you so wrongly, Mr. Okonkwo? If someone decided that my thinking process or my ideology, haven't we been asking politicians to have ideologies? Haven't we been asking political parties to stand on ideologies? If someone has decided that this is a different ideology from mine and I do not want to be here anymore, why would that make the person someone that you're very upset with? What's the problem?
Well, maybe obviously you did not hear that interview. The first thing I said is that I wished him well.
That was the first thing you said.
Absolutely.
Then you went on
Absolutely.
to say other things.
It was his fundamental human right. I said I had problem with his choice of words. And that is where you call the special purpose vehicle. Because the only thing I know, and I don't know why people of that his age like special purpose vehicle. I don't like it.
Oh, we've heard this. You even said it in the beginning of this interview. A political party is a vehicle. It is a means to an end.
You just said vehicle.
Yes.
I didn't say special purpose.
But it is a means to an end. If a party is a means to an end,
let me tell you
why are you upset that they called it a special? They even gave it a special status.
Yes.
Special vehicle.
Yes, because when you say vehicle simpliciter, you are using it in the English sense.
A conveyor.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. When you say special purpose vehicle, you begin to remind Nigerians what popularized that word. Like I recalled, when Michael Achimogu or something exposed one tape, he said the presidential candidate of PDP told him that they established companies as special purpose vehicles through which they siphon money through consultancy contract award. So, being aware of this,
Using that phrase.
it is demeaning to him, especially when he knows that rightly or wrongly he was convicted. So, I don't know why people of that age do like that special purpose vehicle. And it's still happening even in this regime. The same humanitarian affairs ministry is now another special purpose vehicle to carry money through the same consultancy services award. So that's why I said, no, I don't like that word, special purpose vehicle. But if the people of that age, if they like it so much, we can give them the copyright and let them have it. But Labour Party that I know is committed to building a new Nigerian personality. This is what is in their objective. That will be altruistic, that will be patriotic, and that will be committed selflessly to building a new nation. In their objective, I saw it before I entered, but principally, if you had my first interview, when I resigned from APC, I said I was obicentric. Meaning, I have seen a politician with the accurate agenda I am looking for that can give me the new Nigeria I'm fighting for. And I'm willing to follow him. Obicentric means centered on Obi.
So that
I did not intend
You
to
didn't
be a member of a political party. No, political party.
Okay.
But when I was promoting Obi, I was still reminded that on the election day, you will not see an Obi there. It is Labour Party that you will see. When the Labour Party came calling, and it made tremendous reasoning to me. If you're promoting Obi and you're not promoting the platform, you're wasting your time. There is no independent candidacy. So I needed to promote both of them. And that is why Obi cannot be divested from Labour Party or the other way around. And indeed, even by the letter of Doyin Okukwe, he said Labour Party was not burdensome to them. Meaning they didn't ask Shishi. That is the way we should go. That is integrity on its own. Now, when you say ideological differences, which one? I do not see clear-cut ideological difference in all the political parties. Sorry.
What about between the Labour Party and the PDP?
You don't understand. What I see is politicians who have different agenda.
Are you saying that the Labour Party in ideology does
Yes.
not differ from the PDP?
I say there's no clear cuts. If you still go to PDP, go to APC, go to Labour, you still see some similarities, both in their constitution. You check the structure. Just check the structure. You have National Convention.
So you think
You have
Mr.
NEC.
Kupe's claims are
You have
bogus?
NWC.
His claim of a difference in ideology, you think it's bogus? You don't
Again,
believe
it
this?
makes you to appear as if you are an opportunist. Because saying you enter the party just to win or lose election is not a good thing. So I'm saying that if I were in his shoes and I wanted to resign, I would just resign. One word. I wish to resign for personal reasons. Chicken. Nah.
Okay, well, you did.
So I wish him well. Since he resigned, he did not take us into the election. So since he resigned, he did not participate in any other thing we're done. It was only once I saw him when he was coming out of private jets.
Wait, since he resigned, what do you mean?
Yes, no. Since he stepped down as, he resigned first as the DG.
Yes.
Good. So since he resigned as the DG,
Okay.
there was no other activity he ever participated in Labour Party. That's why I said he constructively actually left the party then. The only time I saw him was when he was coming out of the plane with the APC gubernatorial candidate in Ogun State. That was the only time I saw him publicly. I can't remember
Are you
seeing him.
accusing him of
No,
wanting to
I'm
join
not.
the APC? Kenneth Okonkwo?
No, I'm not.
You're sure?
No, he just resigned. He has not joined any place. But the only place I saw him,
The only place you saw him
yes, coming out
from
the plane, with the APC. I think they went to commission one project or something.
So, guys,
There will be. You would have to answer for that later. But what?
So I'm going to stop this video at this point. If you want to watch the full interview, I also uploaded it on my channel as a normal video. But I think Kenneth Okonkwo made some vital points here that you can't be promoting Peter Obi without the party. And I think that is what we all should buy into. Because some people will tell you, oh, I'm not a member of the Labour Party. But if that is a platform on which Peter Obi is running, or the one he ran before, and possibly is intending to run on that same platform, I think it's good we advertise Peter Obi alongside the platform. I think this is just one of the lessons as in a takeaway information from this video. And like you can see, Mr. Doyin Okupe, it means possibly he's already a member of the APC, although it has not been officially stated. But for him to be whining and dining with APC people, and honestly, this is just to tell you the kind of politicians. That's why it's so difficult to see a politician that stands firm, that stands firm. Today they are here, tomorrow they are there. So like today on the social media, on Twitter, I saw a headline that Peter Obi was impeached because he refused to inflate the budget. He refused to add all this padding they used to pad the budget, add money that you can't even understand why they are being added. Peter Obi refused to do that, and that is one of the reasons why he was impeached. So tell me, which politician can be impeached in Nigeria today because he refused to inflate the price, the amount in the budget? But that is what we are seeing is very common today. Look at the budget that was passed. People said it is the highest level of corruption because it was just the last year's budget that was just they just adjusted it a bit and still presented it to Nigerians this year again, and it has been passed into law. So it means that all the things, like if you have a family, last year you bought a brand new car, and this year again you still added that same car again in your list that you still want to buy the same car. Possibly next year again you still add the same car again that you want to buy. So these are how the corruption, endlessly ruin our country, because the budget of last year is like the same thing we are having. So all the expenses and all the areas that money were being directed to, they are still going to do the same thing this year. And you keep asking, okay, let's take vehicles. The vehicles they bought last year, what happened to those vehicles? Just after 1 year, you want to buy the same set of vehicles, the same number of vehicles, or even possibly more. And you see our Naira is on the ground. I mean, Naira is dying. So if they had used 2 billion Naira to achieve something this year, that same project is going to cost 10 billion Naira, So when you look at the kind of politicians we have, you don't even see the future of Nigeria going in the direction that we all are looking forward to. And that is why we keep saying that please don't allow your morale to be killed, because if your morale is down, then these politicians have won, and then Nigeria does not even have any hope of being relieved from all the mess or the mesmerization from all these politicians. So, but we are looking forward to a new Nigeria, and that is where we stand. So, guys, I want to say a very big thank you for your presence here. Please don't forget to like this video so that YouTube can recommend it to more people, and also subscribe to the channel. That's the only way you can support us. And don't forget to turn on the notification icon that is close to the subscribe button. Thank you very much for your time. Let's meet again tomorrow. God bless you.